Hey guys, today I'm sharing 5 film simulations for your no-edit photos. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kebs and I'm a street photographer. And today, I am going to share 5 JPEG settings that I created for our Fujifilm cameras. I love editing my photos, but it can sometimes be tiring. Being able to achieve a particular look right out of the camera helps me spend more time taking photos rather than editing. The nice thing about these settings is that they will only affect the JPEGs and not the RAW files. So I can always go back to the RAW files if I really need to. With that, let's get to the first recipe, Shinjuku. I'm naming these recipes after cities in Japan. What you're seeing is the soak photo that I took in Shinjuku. And this is what it looks like with the profile applied. It was raining for the whole day when I was in Shinjuku. The city was full of energy, but it was dampened by gloomy weather. That busy yet somber vibe of the city was the inspiration for this film simulation. Use this profile if you are shooting in cloudy or rainy conditions, or if you want to add a bit of cinematic vibe to your image. You can use it for daytime or nighttime shooting, but I don't recommend it when you're shooting in harsh sunlight. I used classic chrome to get that slightly desaturated look and added a bit of grain to get that film vibe. I used auto white balance and set the white balance shift to red -4 and blue -2. Auto white balance seems to work in most cases, but you can adjust it based on your shooting conditions. I made the highlight tone -2 and raised the shadow tone to -1 to make the image flatter. Here are more examples of the looks that you can get through this film simulation. Our next film simulation is Harajuku. Harajuku is a crowded and colorful area. It's full of vivid signages and a lot of anime-looking teenage girls. That bright and playful vibe of the area is the inspiration for this simulation. This simulation highlights pinks and magentas, which of course will add a bit of pinkish tones to the skin. It will make the reds and the blues brighter. Overall, it will make the image cooler and add that cotton candy vibe. I don't know how to describe it, but I hope you see what I mean. I recommend this film simulation if you are taking portraits and want to highlight makeup and lipsticks. You can also use this to make the photo feel more playful and bright. I used Pro Neg High to get that initial punchy contrast, but I toned it down a bit with a -1 highlight and -2 shadow. I shifted the white balance to red +2 and blue +3, and added +2 to the color to make the colors pop even more. I also added +4 to noise reduction and -2 to sharpness to make the image smoother. Here are more examples from the Harajuku recipe. As you look at these images, imagine the cases where you can use it. Pause. If this is the second or the third time that you've seen me and you're not yet subscribed, this is the sign that you've been waiting for. Subscribe now so you won't miss upcoming recipes. Let's move on to the next one, Tsukiji. Tsukiji is a touristy fish market in Tokyo. The area is full of bustles. The vibe is festive, happy, warm, and kind of gritty. And that's the inspiration for this recipe. This recipe gives a warm, earthy, and grainy look. And if you love shooting in harsh sunlight, this is the ideal recipe. This is one of my standard street photography color settings. It is slightly desaturated and contrasty at the same time. To get this look, I use Pro Neg Standard with a +1 on color. I made the shadow +2 and the highlight -1. I set the grain effect to strong and set the noise reduction to -4 for that grainy look. Here are more examples of this recipe. I hope these images excite you to take this recipe on the streets. Our next recipe is Akihabara. Akihabara is a place where you can get lost in the shopping centers. It's colorful, busy, and almost everywhere you turn you can find something interesting. This is also the area where I saw a lot of anime-related stuff, which is the inspiration for this recipe. If your aim is to have vibrant and punchy colors in your images, this is the recipe. It will make the image cooler and make colors pop a little bit more. This is ideal if you want to highlight colors in your image. It works both for daytime and nighttime photos. And this is a good choice if you love shooting in blue hour. I use Provia or the standard film simulation as a base for this recipe. I used auto white balance, but you can experiment depending on the area where you are shooting. The white balance shift is red -3 and blue +2. I added a -1 to both highlight and shadows to make the image a bit flatter. I also reduced the sharpness and the noise reduction and added strong grain for that film-like vibe. Here are more examples for this film simulation. Notice what it does to the colors. And for the last recipe, Asakusa. Asakusa is a touristy cultural area. There are many shops near the temple, and the artificial light around the area was gorgeous. And these yellow lights were the inspiration for this recipe. I optimized this recipe for nighttime shooting. It will make the image brighter and warmer, like the lights that I saw in Asakusa. Because it will make the image warmer, this recipe dramatically affects the skin tone, something to be mindful of. I used Velvia as a base to get vivid colors and added a white balance shift of red +3 and blue -4 to make the image warmer. I set the highlight to +2 and shadow -2 to make the image brighter and reveal more details. Because of these settings, you might not want to use this recipe in daytime. I also added a weak grain effect and -2 to noise reduction. Check out these images where I used the Asakusa recipe. Notice how bright and warm they become. If you stayed this long in the video, I have a bonus for you. I created a comparison of these 5 recipes. I'll show you the sook and overlay images with the recipes applied. I'll then pick one that I think works best. Let me know in the comments if we had the same choice. Those are the recipes that I have created, and I'll share 4 more next time. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes of No Edit, where we will use these recipes on the streets. I want to see your photos using these recipes, so tag me on Instagram. Please share the video if you found it useful. Until next time!